Hi everybody, welcome. I hope you're having a glorious day and that the sun is shining in your area and in your hearts. I'm fully aware that most of us are going through some stuff at the moment. Emotional things concerning our countries, our families and ourselves. I personally do not know anyone who's not going through something, some turmoil or illness or just a general feeling of hopelessness. You may differ fundamentally from my opinion, but I think there are two factors influencing our sense of hopelessness, of tiredness, or maybe even depression. And that is, number one, because we are being bombarded from all sides with wars and rising cost of fuel and food, lying politicians, lying world leaders. Absolutely nothing we hear these days can be trusted or believed. And number two, there does not seem to be any accountability for anyone or anything. None. And maybe there is a third reason, maybe not applicable in all instances, but certainly in most, and that is that people in general appear either so dumbed down or numbed down or so weak that it certainly drives us older and maybe tougher people up the wall. My generation and older certainly had a tad more accountability than what we are seeing right now. I have so many questions. Like, for instance, why hasn't the family of the killer of Henry Novak's brother and mother not been arrested? They were accessories, maybe after the fact, but both lied to the police and the mother even hid the knife. Now, that is only one example, one of many instances, and I mean many all over the world, not just in Britain. Our news today, mass shootings in Germany and statistics for January and December 2025-2026 in my country shows an average of almost 70 murders or attempted murders per day. Really? You would not say so if you see the police vans parked behind the local council building and the blokes having a glorious picnic at 11-12 o'clock in the morning. And when you get home and find, oops, you need a cop, you are told all the vans are out on calls. None available at the moment. They are all too busy to help you right now, but they should be there in about 2 hours. Yeah, right. Our world is, or it seems, to be controlled by narcissism, lawlessness, lack of discipline, and a weak general population. And that is not me moaning and groaning. That is fact. Of course, I still have all my faculties, so I know full well that there are exceptions to everything, everywhere. But we, no matter how old we are, need to stand up now. Speak up, speak out, or there will be no future for our children, particularly not if they are pale or Christian. Now, make no mistake, I'm also fully aware that there were, and maybe still are, a lot of atrocities committed in the name of Christianity. One example would be the residential school system in Canada, and of course many, many more, like wars fought in the name of Christianity. So, I'm not going to sit here and preach Christianity for all. You do you, but respect me enough to say the same to me. And that is what this long preamble is all about. It breaks my heart more than anything else to watch video after video after video of, mostly men, mind you, complaining to high heaven about the king's new self-appointed role. Oh dear God. I even listened to an hour-long podcast of 3 men, one with the most horrific voice and fake accent, in order to try and find a solution for what Charles is doing to England, or at least a better, faster solution than I could possibly come up with. But no, they talked the subject to death, took it all the way back to the 1500s and beyond. I'm sure if they had time they would have taken it to the cavemen and beyond. But after all was said and done, there was no conclusion, nor any solution. Just a communal, "Oh, there goes old England. Bye, cheers, good to have known you." Another bloke on another channel, okay, jokingly I guess, said, "You have to get fit to be able to run away when they come for you or your home." Well, I hope that was a joke. Another woman, also on a podcast, cautioned people to leave Britain while they still can. No, 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 it is insane. It is irrational. Let me quickly sketch you the difference between England and South Africa, the 2 countries I know best. And it is actually also getting easier to do so, as our population numbers no longer differ that much. England currently has a population of just over 57 million people, and South Africa approximately somewhere between 61 and 63 million people. So in England, 81% of the population are white European, meaning English, Welsh, Scottish, Northern Irish, etc. 9.6% are Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and Chinese. And then obviously the rest are from all over. 90% of the British population hold British UK national identity only. In other words, they are legal citizens with British only passports. 46% of Britain's population are Christian or then Orthodox Christian, thus Anglican Church of England or closely affiliated. 36% are other or identify as no religion. 6% are Hindu, Sikh, Jewish, Buddhist, and 8% are Muslim. In South Africa, 81.8% of the population is Black African, 8.5% coloured, 2.5% Indian or Asian, and 7.2% white European. English is the first language in less than 10% of the population. However, 85% of our population identifies as Christian, although it is spread across a very huge, diverse range of Christian-based religions. Okay? Islam, Hinduism, Judaism only make out 5% of our population. It is thus very clear that we are talking about a very different dynamic here where I live in South Africa, with very different goals, different things to fight for and to fight about. And we do. all the bloody time. Even as white South Africans, we have a toughness about us which I have not seen or experienced anywhere else in the world. We are also far, far less naive. We have been through them all. The buses burning, the rioting, the killing. We are indeed streetwise like no other nation on earth. And therefore I despair at the people of Britain crying and praying and then turning around and with tears in their eyes go, "Oh, I guess that is how it will be from now on. Our cathedrals will become shops and discos and mosques. Poor old England." No, 1,000 times no. At least here in South Africa, 7% of the country handed over to 80%, whereas in England, 81% want to hand over to only 7% or less. Yep, I mean, according to the latest census, only 6.5 to 7% of the British population is actually Muslim. Now, this is very important. Of that 6.7%, only, and I repeat, this is extremely important, only 33% express support for incorporating elements of Sharia law. Only 33% of the 6.5% of the British Muslim population. And this is important because it would be disgustingly amiss and extremely hateful of me to go Muslim bad. No, darn it. 67% of Muslims in Britain actually want to raise and educate their children just like you and want to get on with life. So to color this picture even better for you, the current problem in England equates to only 0.02% of the current population. And that is what men, or shall I call them males, not men, are prepared to shrug their shoulders for, give their country, their way of life for. 0.02% of the entire British population is currently putting fear in the hearts of British men or the British population. And Charles? Everyone is so upset with Charles, and I understand it 100%, but it is time we all again learn about the power of the people, or then the power of the masses. Charles is king by the grace of God and the grace of the people. If he refuses to serve his people, refuses to act according to the laws and the rules and the lay of the land, then like any company CEO, any prime minister or president, he must go. No country can afford to pay a mere man of flesh and blood 100 million annual so-called salary, protect him and house him just for him to work against the country and the laws of the country. Of course, in no way, shape or form am I advocating violence. Not at all. I truly think violence during protests, etc., are a matter of cutting your nose to spite your face, or punishing the innocent, or then often lowering yourself to the standards of those you protest against. It would have been so much easier if we could, like in the case of, say, Mary, Queen of Scots, have ordered a beheading. Wait, guys, I'm only joking. I know it's a bit of a dark joke, I know, but yes, it was simple or simpler those days. But I mean, we have evolved from the days of the guillotine and beheadings. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I may not have been sitting here. Anyway, what I have taken all this time to come tell you is this. While, in a way, King Charles is above the written law, he is entirely subject to the unwritten law of public consent. It is the public who holds power over him, not Parliament and not the law. Now let me tell you this, and this is so important for you to hear, because not only will it make you feel better, but hopefully it will make you feel you are once again having some of your power back. You are not powerless or helpless. Okay, so here it comes. If a monarch like Charles commit an egregious criminal act, which he has certainly not done by declaring himself holder of a place of face or whatever crap was stated, but which we all know he has indeed done in his past, he cannot be tried in his own court system. But that very same legal immunity could and should cause a constitutional crisis. And by public pressure, Parliament could, would, and should, in such a case, bypass the immunity by passing an act to remove him or then dissolve the monarchy. Yes, indeed, you are right. The king is above the law, but only for as long as he behaves well enough that the public doesn't force Parliament to change the law. It is called political leverage, my friends. Now, unfortunately, my time is running out. But I've done a heck of a lot of work for you, and when I come back, we are going to look at every legal nook and cranny, every legal action and reaction concerning the monarchy. When I come back, we are going to put every bit of anger and emotion aside, and we are going to dissect the reality of the current monarchy through the lens of politics, money, and the law. I'm going to try and build you up, give you some of your power back. We have all been told for far, far too long that we are powerless. And it is clear from what I heard on these other podcasts that we are starting to believe it. And my dear friends, it is not true. Okay, guys and girls, I will be back shortly. Until then, please take good care of yourselves, stay vigilant, and stay safe. And why? Because I love you. Bye.